From Goodyear Heights to music lovers everywhere.
Welcome back to Bearded and Crunchy, episode 10. The Riffs strike back. That's right, guys. You heard it. The music episode has returned.
Ooh, new music episode.
We had to. We realized there was way too much music stuff that you just can't cram in an hour.
Yeah.
And to date, it's our second biggest episode behind the Star Wars one.
Oh, yeah.
The Star Wars one's at 75. Yeah. But the Riffs is right there.
Like 52?
I think it's at, I think it's up to like 54, 55.
Oh, nice.
It's up there. So we knew we had to... We had to come back to this. Me and Bob wanted to come back to this, and there's a few of our listeners that really enjoyed that episode.
Yeah.
So
people like music, apparently.
Yeah. And as always, guys, we want to thank you for taking the hour out of your day to listen to us, and your time is very important. You all have jobs and families, and even if you don't, we still thank you for listening. And
thanks for listening.
We're on all socials, Bearded and Crunchy. Again, reach out to us. Our email's beardedandcrunchy26@gmail. Please email us. And as Bob, I'm glad you brought this up a couple episodes ago. If you're watching us, like and subscribe, comment, do all of that because it helps us tremendously. But Bob, we're here. Music part deux.
Part deux. I was so excited about this when we were initially talking about it and getting where we were going to go with it, because I don't want to do the same episode as we did.
Yeah, we definitely want to. We don't want to do the same thing over again, because you can just go back and listen to that episode if you really wanted to.
Right.
But yeah, I've been really excited to it too, because the first one was fun because we got to tell everybody like
what we loved,
and that kind of stuff. But now we can really start getting into who we
Some
are
of the
musically and to see, last week was obvious. This week, not so much. So,
I think we're gonna step out of our comfort zones a little bit here.
Definitely. You proposed a good question that's gonna put me out of mine, and you're gonna be put out of yours. So it's gonna be a fun episode.
I think so.
We definitely like doing these episodes. I mean, we've said in many episodes how much music really, brought us together. That's why the first 3 episodes were Star Wars, sports, and music, because that's, really what our topics of conversations, mainly, subject matter was. So with that, it's time for the question, ain't it?
And mine is kind of a loaded question, honestly. I think they always are. But actually, I don't know this about you. Yeah. And I thought about that. I was like, man, I don't know this about him. I mean, you don't know that about me.
No, I have no clue.
Mine's going to blow your mind. Because it's not what you would think at all, musically speaking, but it's cool. Eric, what was the first concert you can remember going to?
So like you, this one's going to blow your mind. I was a kid, and I went with my parents. And this is actually still... They had 3 really big hits, but they're not the biggest known band in the world. I mean, they had their in the late 70s, early 80s, they had their thing, but the Moody Blues.
Dude, I love that band.
Yeah, Nights in White Satin, In Your Wildest Dreams.
Yeah.
I actually really love the Moody Blues, but that was the very first concert that I remember going to. I'm
awesome.
I'm 99% sure that was the very first one.
That's fucking badass, man. That's a great concert.
I know. And
that's a good band.
It is. And I was really young, but from what I remember and what I remember my parents saying, I had a blast.
Yeah, I could bet.
It was a good concert. But
they changed from the 70s into the 80s, though. They were more like what 70s rock sounded like, and then they kind of transitioned to that 80s like synth pop.
Yep.
But man, it was still so good.
Yeah, but they never really got away from that Moody Blues sound.
That made
it
just good.
Kind of adapted to what was kind of what the trend was going, but not losing sight of themselves.
That's almost like a deep cut, man.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the Moody Blues.
I told you, like I had you with
amazing.
that. And like I can show you, I have them in a playlist. Like I listen to them. I love the movie Blues. So, what about you, Bob?
And mine's gonna. I just said
I'm excited.
It's kind of weird.
You guys can see the smile on my face. I'm anxious to hear this.
So we live in Northeast Ohio, and there's a radio station in Cleveland called 105.7 Magic 105.7
Magic 105
WMJI, and they used to do every year. They used to do the Magic Moondog Coronation Ball.
Okay.
Where they would have a bunch of groups come in, like oldies groups. I actually went 2 years in a row back in the late 90s with my dad. The first time we went, I believe we saw Tommy James and the Shondells.
Oh, wow.
Right. That's old, like 60s, 70s stuff.
That's sock hop type stuff. Yeah.
But, so it was them. I believe it was Leslie Gore.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Really
It's my party. And that. And then we saw Little Anthony and the Imperials.
Jesus.
So, like, early Motown stuff.
Yeah.
And then I believe to end the show, I believe it was Jay Black and the Americans.
Oh, wow.
So that's all oldie stuff, but I like all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's kind of a, like...
that you definitely, I wasn't expecting that. You went way back.
You're thinking like hard rock, heavy metal, or something like that?
I'll give you two more quick ones, just since we're on that subject, because it's music and why not.
Yeah.
The next one that I went to was the Doobie Brothers. And I seen them at Blossom at like 7 years old. Yeah,
I can respect that. I like Doobie Brothers.
Yeah, China Grove.
Yeah,
there's that was a good one. There was another band that was with them, and I can never remember. And unfortunately, I can't ask my parents because they're not here.
They're down.
But real quick, I'm gonna say one that's gonna blow your mind. But I don't know if you remember this, but in 1990, when Ninja Turtles was at their peak, they actually did a nationwide rock concert called "We're Coming Out of Our Shells" tour.
I remember hearing that.
My dad actually took me to
really
that. One of the very few, I talk about many a times we didn't have a lot of money and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was, times when we had a little bit and then we lost it, whatever. A lot of ups and downs. We were never well off by any sense of the word. But yeah, I remember going to that. I actually, in one of my totes, I still have, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day at concerts, they had programs, but they were this big.
Oh, yeah.
They were literally like 2.5 feet tall. They were huge. I still have it.
Nice.
I'll have to try to find it. But in the YouTube video, I'll show a couple of clips from the concert. But
hell yeah,
it was guys in suits. And obviously, like, they weren't singing and playing because they had these big ass suits on. I'm assuming they had a surrogate band behind because they were moving around the stage and shit. There's no way they were playing in those big ass suits.
No.
There's no fucking way.
No.
But I remember it being amazing. But that is a fucking you always come up with the best questions. I mean, seriously, like
it makes you think back, right?
It does, and I really think it really gets you in the mood and gets people ready to see what the rest of the episode is, and you're getting you're so unique with it that I think eventually it's going to be. What's the word that I'm thinking of? It's going to be something that we're going to be known by.
Yeah, maybe.
That and the dad joke, I
don't know, maybe. I hope it honestly makes people that listen to this stuff think.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, we talk about it, but these are to make you guys think about it. Like, I can tell you times when I've listened to podcasts and I've heard people talk about things, I'm in my car listening to it going, fuck that, I liked that, shit like that. And that's what we want from you guys, And that's why we tell you, don't be like a ghost listener. Comment. Tell us your favorite concerts. Guys, go on our socials. Go to the YouTube and that video. Comment. Like, we literally have had 2 comments out of all of the platforms. One was Bob and one was me where I said, these guys suck. Just to see if anybody would see it. Guys, interact with us. We want to know your favorite stuff. Like, put it in the comments. Send us, if you don't want it public, send us an email. Send us the direct message. But we want to know this stuff about you guys too. So
yeah, I would love to hear some of that stuff because we love music. It doesn't matter what
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't. I don't
care if you like classical in the bathtub with your toaster. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter. Even if you there's a subject that we talked about for the first episode, but we never got to. But our takes on popular artists and sounds that we don't like. I think that's when we can.
Yep.
We're not going to be done with this episode in music, guys.
It's probably going to be a recurring series.
Yeah, there's so much that we can talk about in music, but And it's perfect, that question, to go into what we're going to talk about first.
For sure.
So we're going to talk about some of our favorite concerts. I'm going to, last episode, which you guys will already know when you hear this, but don't know yet. I kind of took the lead role on. It was kind of something more in my wheelhouse. Mm-hmm. And although we're very equal in this, I want Bob to get his shine. So I'm going to let him take the beginning of these topics so he can really, especially because, with this music episode, like, guys, he puts a lot of thought into these and we really try to make these laid out. So.
And try to remember things that happened from, sometimes 20 years ago. And
starting a podcast at 45 instead of 25. We may have a lot more memories to talk about, but that's also a lot more shit we got to try to remember.
Yeah. Which is fun, though, because then it's like, well, it brings back those
memories. And then there's things you might say that I go, holy shit.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Or, oh, wait a minute, that made me think of this. Yeah. So what's our first topic?
Our first topic?
Yeah.
It's our favorite concerts, bro.
It's a perfect segue.
And I don't have any particular order or anything like that. They're just my favorite concerts that I've personally attended. I know you've probably been to a hell of a lot more than I have.
I mean, I won't lie to you. Me and Rhiannon have been at least, just in our time together, at least 15. Yeah. At least. And I would say more. But regardless, So let's hear some of yours.
I'm actually going to start off in the year 2022 of our Lort.
The Lort.
The Lort. And my wife and I actually saw these guys. They actually played in Cleveland at Rocket Arena on our actual first anniversary. And they're one of those legacy bands where you're like, man, this is just great. They're always going to be good. The music is always going to be good. No matter who's singing, it's always going to be good. But we got a chance to see Toto and Journey headlining. And, bro, let me tell you, Toto, freaking amazing. They played all the hits, obviously, because they didn't have an extensive catalog of, greatness.
Well, they had great songs, but they didn't release big hits outside of Africa.
There's Africa, there's Hold the Line, there's Roxanne.
I always forget about
Roxanne.
Not Roxanne, but Hold the
Rosanna.
Line. Yeah.
Rosanna is.
Yeah.
I always say banana. And yeah, like I said, we went on our anniversary for that. Great show. Journey played all of the freaking hits.
And that's that could be a 2.5 hour.
Yeah.
Those guys were fucking throwing out hits like Halloween candy.
Yeah, they did play for about 2.5 hours. And it was and there were some deep cuts too, but obviously you got, Faithfully and, Wheel in the Sky, the massive, Journey hits.
Yeah.
The only regret, obviously, is no Steve Perry.
Yeah.
But Arnell is amazing, and they're actually, I think they're on their farewell tour, or going to be on their farewell tour this year, I believe.
I'll believe it when they quit touring.
Right.
Like, so many of these bands. I mean, dude, I'll get to it when I get into mine, but yeah. But
then I kind of referenced this a little bit in the first music episode. I took my dad also in 2022. He's a massive Eagles fan. I like the Eagles. I think you like the Eagles.
Oh, I love them.
Tons of big hits.
Their greatest hits album is the top selling album of all time.
I can believe it.
It's went triple diamond, I believe. It's sold over like 30 million or close to 30 million.
Wow.
It's insane. But when you think about the amount of hits that they had, obviously it's escaping me because I'm trying to think, but you got Hotel California, Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, dude,
Desperado.
That was my mom's favorite Eagles song.
Really?
She loved that song.
That album is phenomenal. And from what I remember my dad telling me about the album Desperado, it's written like a book.
Yeah.
To where every song kind of leads into the next. So there's not a lot of people that do that kind of concept.
Yeah. Well, one thing I'll say about the Eagles, they were like the original
supergroup.
Because they're like that in the original Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Because like all of them had a fucking insane Glenn Fry. I can't think.
I know.
Don Henley. And then what's his face, the guitarist that
Joe Walsh.
Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
I mean, all of those guys had phenomenal careers by themselves. So, yeah, it's. I mean, I'm unfortunately that's one of the groups I have not seen. Yeah. But I can imagine. I mean, they could probably put on a 3.5 hour show.
Oh, easy. I got a chance to see him with. It was after Glenn Frey passed away, and his son wasn't there that night because his son had started filling in, and his son is amazing vocally. He sounds just like his dad. But we got lucky and got Vince Gill.
Oh, wow.
So, and he's, I don't know if you ever really listened to Vince Gill.
I mean, I remember him, but I would be lying if I said, like, I listened to him a lot.
But you automatically think country music, obviously. Yeah. And, bro, I'm going to tell you, he's a great guitar player. And he's a great singer. He can sing anything.
Yeah.
So, one of the best shows of a single band, like a single band show I've ever seen. And that was it. It was just them the whole night. They played Hotel California because it was whatever anniversary. They took like a 25-minute intermission and they came out and they played like all of the hits.
That's a good segue. I'll go into one of mine because that's perfect. Okay. Because one of Rhiannon's favorite bands is Guns N' Roses.
All right.
And in 2017, they did the Not in My Lifetime tour. Because if you remember, Slash and Axl, they said, we'll never tour again. Yeah. Not in this lifetime. So that's what they called it. And, bro, people were talking shit that, like, Axl Rose sounded like shit and all that. Yeah. Let me tell you, those guys played for 3.5 hours with one 20-minute intermission.
Jesus.
That Slash sat on top of this stage, and he did the Imperial theme. He did Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh, wow.
He did Johnny Be Good. Like, he just did all these little solos
That's awesome.
As the intermission. And, bro, when they did November Rain, he fucking comes up out of the stage with the piano.
Nice.
And I'll never forget this. To this day, Rihanna makes fun of me. I didn't know that he actually played the piano on that song.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you know, like, I listen to Guns N' Roses. That's the only song and video you see him playing the piano. So I just assumed it was just for show or whatever. And then when he came out, I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And, bro, they were amazing. And it's the same thing. It was just them. No opener. They just played. I mean, literally, they came on at like 8:15. Show was over at like 11:30.
Oh, yeah.
It was intense. With that, I'm going to go into one of my most recents on this list, and that was 2021. I went with my cousin to Blossom. Wu-Tang and Nas did the New York State of Mind tour.
Yes, sir.
And it was a absolute bucket list for me. Mainly because, like I've said before, there's 9 members in Wu-Tang, and unfortunately ODB died.
Yeah.
I think almost 20 years ago.
Jesus.
Or over. But typically you wouldn't get all of them together.
Right.
So this was the first one where, like, and Busta Rhymes was on the tour with him.
Nice.
It was just, unfortunately, he wasn't at the Cuyahoga Falls show because he was receiving some crazy, like, Lifetime Achievement Award.
Well, that's a good reason to not be there.
So, yeah, I was like, all right, cool, I'll take it. But I'd never seen Wu-Tang before, and everybody knows that's that's my
your
heart.
Favorite.
That's and Nas is a legend. Like, Illmatic is considered, like, literally, like, when you say hip hop, it's considered the greatest hip hop album of all time.
Yeah.
So to see them two together, and I always bring this up when I tell people about this. What impressed me is, and you'll know this right away, people that are not from Ohio or don't do their homework, when they come to Blossom, they say, "What's up, Cleveland?" Blossom is actually not in Cleveland.
It's in Cuyahoga Falls. Yeah.
Nas comes out and goes, "What's up, Cuyahoga Falls?"
Nice.
And when he said that, I was like, fucking A,
finally.
Dude. Like, you know where you're at. And not that it's a big deal. I get it. You guys do a lot of tours. But it was the fact that he took the time to make sure he was saying where he was playing. But yeah, dude, it was, I remember that because, again, I mean, I was 40 years old, so I was older. Right. And the crowd was crazy because, like, you know, there was a lot of people our age, but there was a lot of younger people there too. And it made me really feel good. It's like, okay, you know, and, you know, you would hear back in the day, people would talk a lot of shit about hip hop shows. And guys, there's no violence at hip hop shows. I can tell you that. I've been to quite a few. There's a lot of weed smoke, but outside of that, like, I mean, guys, it's just people having fun and
enjoying.
Bro, to see that W up on
I'm sure.
I'm getting chills thinking about it. But what's a couple more that you got on your list?
I'm just gonna kind of lump these together. I have had the pleasure of seeing Disturbed 3 separate times, and I believe you've seen them a couple times too. Yes.
I was waiting for you because there's one I'm 99% sure we've talked about that we both were at and didn't realize it.
That's not that I'm doing a list,
right?
But that's higher up on my concert. You know, my favorite concerts is 2016 when they were at Blossom and they had Breaking Benjamin directly open for them, and then I believe it was.
I don't remember who opened up before them, but I know.
Alter Bridge.
That's right.
And Saint Asonia,
yeah.
They did.
That was they had the singer from
3 Days Grace, and they did a couple 3 Days Grace songs.
And it was that's right. Yep.
As an opener to hear a 3 Days Grace song from the guy that sang it,
I have. I mean, you can see. I have it right here. It was because we actually went to that. You were there.
Yeah.
So we shared that. Yeah. Without knowing.
And not knowing. Yeah.
But we actually went with her brother. And his
okay,
they never got married, but they've been together like 30 years.
So basically, wife.
Yeah. But Katrina's amazing. I love her to death, dude. And him too. But we went with them. But you remember, there was a really, really bad thunderstorm that came through, and a lot of people actually evacuated.
Yeah.
And we actually got stuck under a tree because.
Oh, you guys were lawn?
We were lawn.
Oh, bro.
And so you know, while a lot of people were escaping, we stepped under a tree. It only lasted. I said we only really had to wait about a half hour. It wasn't too bad. It kind of subsided, and
what was I? I was literally last row in pavilion for that show.
Oh, okay. So you would have still gotten wet when
I did.
Regardless,
I got soaked, even though I was covered. Mm-hmm. But I mean, man, what a killer show!
That show was amazing. I always say this: the lead singer of Disturbed is very crowd oriented.
Yes.
Like, go look at his shows online. Like he always like. I remember there was a concert, I've seen him online, where some people were mosh pitting a little too hard, and he called them out. He goes, hey, guys, we're brothers and sisters here. Like, we're not here to hurt each other. Like, you know, we're here to have a good time and shit. And
that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and I can appreciate that. But, you know, to piggyback that, I think me and Rhiannon have seen Breaking Benjamin 4 or 5 times.
Dude, they're amazing live.
They're so good live. And Rhiannon loves it because, I don't know if you know this, but Benjamin's wife, the lead singer's name is Rhiannon.
Oh, no shit. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so that you know, that kind of ties in.
Yeah. No, man, I love those guys. I've liked them from their original, you know, what they were originally as a band, and then, you know, he's the only original member left.
Right. The guitarist has changed, the drummers have changed.
Yeah, everybody's new.
But
yeah, they're...
Yeah, I mean, I was actually introduced to them when I was working at Wings back in the late 2000s going into the 2010s. We had a manager there, and I was still burning CDs at that time.
Oh, okay.
But then it was LimeWire.
Yeah, that's
that
a good way to get a
everybody's fucking computer. But we had a guy there that his favorite band was Breaking Benjamin. So at the time, I burnt their entire catalog at that point for him.
Nice.
And that's how I got into like Diarrhea Jane. Yeah. And I was like, oh, these guys are good. And then when me and Rhiannon got together, you know, I love music, but I'm a hip hop guy.
Mm-hmm.
Any other genres of music, it's typically word of mouth that I hear. And, you know, that's when I started listening to other stuff. But then I really started diving, and I'm like, dude, these guys don't make bad music.
Yeah. Well, she loves Tool, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So that's one of her.
I really used to like them a lot. I love the fact that they would do weird time signatures and time changes in songs. But
I have said, and she looks at me like this, but she doesn't like... But I'm telling you, they're a new age Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
They focus more on the musicality of it.
Yep.
The words are meant to hit hard, but be very few. Like, I'm not saying they're the same band.
No.
What I'm saying is their approach to music is very similar.
Yes.
They're visual. Pink Floyd was extremely visual. They lost money on most of their shows in the 70s and early 80s because of how big of a production it was.
Right.
And I always felt that. And fun, to piggyback on that, she had never seen Tool, and since we've been together, we've seen Tool twice.
Oh, that's badass.
We've seen A Perfect Circle.
Ooh.
And we've seen Pussifer.
You've seen Pussifer?
Because the last time we seen Tool, Pussifer opened, so he performed with them because that's basically Tool with a female. It's like the band with a female kind of lead singer, and
I think my sister saw them down in Nashville here about a month or so ago.
There was a show where it was Tool, but they opened up. So I've seen all three iterations of his bands. Yeah, which is kind of crazy. Sick, yeah. Like I said, dude, we've been to a lot of concerts together.
Yeah.
I'll go into. I'm not going to mention because you mentioned it, the Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin. I had it on here. No, it's fine. I'm going to go into. We talked about in our last music episode that I'm a big Pink Floyd fan.
Yeah.
I gave you guys a little insight to their story. Syd Barrett. He got really messed up with drugs, and he ended up passing away in, I think, 2006. And then Richard Wright died of cancer the same year my mom died of cancer in 2008. So there really is no Roger Waters, or there really is no Pink Floyd anymore.
Right.
At least not with any original iteration that they had. But in 2017, I got to see Roger Waters, the Us and Them tour, where he was doing the entirety of Dark Side of the Moon.
Yeah.
Plus, other hit songs, as a band. But you want to talk, man, these guys put on a show like it was. They also did a lot, a lesser known, but actually an album I like is Animals.
Yeah.
And when they originally did Animals, they had these inflatable pig, and there's a big story behind that. But in this one, they had these like screens that was like a rectangle. So it was like a rectangular box, and it was hanging across the middle of the arena. And it looked like when that pig's flying those smokestacks, it looked like that building was and there was just a real pig floating above the crowd the entire. Dude, it was fucking insane. And Rihanna not being a Pink Floyd fan sat through 2.5 hours because Pink Floyd doesn't have opening bands neither. They just go and do their shit, and Roger Waters is the same way. So that's one that I got to see. Pink Floyd was on my bucket list, so I got to see the next best thing. And they do have a really good cover band, and the name's escaping me now.
Yeah.
I can't think of it, but there's a really famous cover band that does a real good job covering them. But before I get into my last two and what I guess would consider probably my favorite. I'll let you go ahead and round out, your favorites.
Yeah. I have had a chance to see a few country concerts over there. I'm just kind of lump them in together real quick. Sure. Me and my wife saw Kane Brown in November of 2021 before Thanksgiving. That was amazing because I love seeing the melting pot. There were, white people, black people, Asian people, Mexican people. It just didn't matter what color your skin was. Right. It was beautiful to me because everybody was there for one thing, and it was to enjoy the music.
That's what I always like festivals and shit like that for, because, it really, you could really see that, music doesn't have a color or age barrier. It's not ageism, it's not racist, it's not sexist, it's not.
Yeah. But then I saw, this year I took my wife, I mentioned it last music episode, we saw Brett Young, who we used his song for our first dance at our wedding. And that was amazing. It was, a small venue. It was packed, but it sounded great. And then I'm going to go to my favorite all-time concert. And that's a bucket list item for me, much like you got to see Roger Waters, as close as you could get to Pink Floyd. Yeah. But I don't know if you've ever seen him or not, but in 2004, I got to see Metallica in Cleveland.
Yeah, I have yet to see Metallica. That's a band that's been on my list that I'd love to see. But I never got around to seeing, unfortunately.
I would totally recommend seeing them because they're, mind you, this is 2004, so we're talking 22 years ago at this point.
Right.
But even in 2004, their production quality was the best I had ever heard at a concert. And I mean the clarity of the vocals, the drums, the bass, the guitars, everything was just, it was perfect. And Godsmack opened for them. So I literally went to that show to see two of my favorite bands at the time. Obviously, Godsmack, they're great, love them, but I was there for Metallica. And dude, I lost my voice for 3 days. I went back to work the next day because I worked at Schwabel's in the Falls at the time. And my one supervisor knew I was going to that concert. And he goes, "Hey, Bob, how's the show last night?" I was like, "Great." Because my voice was gone. It was shot.
For sure. I will go into... I'm going to throw a couple out there that I definitely want to mention.
Yeah.
I mentioned in our last episode I've seen Weird Al. That was...
That would be killer.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I mean, we've seen... We also went to another concert with her brother and sister. It was like the 90s jam. It had like Young MC, Vanilla Ice was there. Like it had a bunch of like the 90s big names. Yeah. And then we went to another concert where it was all R&B. It had Genuine, Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, like Cisco was
very
there.
Nice.
There was a lot of good. But in 2003, Eminem was doing what he called the Anger Management Tour. And I went and seen that with Vonnie, Kurt Thompson.
Yeah.
He went with us. Aaron Boyle, I think she went with us.
Wow.
There was a few of us. There was like 4 or 5, maybe 6 of us. But it was Eminem, D12,
wow,
Ludacris,
damn,
Exhibit, Papa Roach.
Papa Roach?
Yeah, and an unknown band that I've told you about, Bionic Jive.
Okay.
Yeah, it was called Anger Management because, Eminem was still listened to by like... Messed that up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Bob.
There's your alarm for your machine.
Yeah, for my medicine. But he always tried to have, alternative type music, what was popular there too, so more people would come out and see him. But
yeah,
I'll never forget it. It was, and this was around the time when the Eminem show.
Okay.
So he had on stage, it was a giant Ferris wheel. And every time, like, when he was on stage, every time a member of, like, D12 would come out, they would come in off of this Ferris wheel. It was really neat. But my favorite, and I've thought long and hard about this because, Wu-Tang was huge.
Long and hard.
But
such a child.
The reason why I'm putting this here is because I'm going to tell you a fact that I tend to leave out. This concert that I went to, there was only 4 shows of.
Okay.
2 in New York,
really?
2 in Detroit.
Nice.
And it was 2010. It was called the Home and Home Tour.
Okay.
And it was Eminem and Jay-Z.
Ooh.
And in Detroit, Jay-Z opened. Eminem finished because he's from Detroit.
Sure.
And in New York, Eminem opened and Jay-Z finished. I went to the Detroit show because it was only 2.5 hours away from us.
Right.
But when I tell you, we got general admission tickets, which you had your front like 15 rows, which were like your VIP. And then general admission, when you got there, you got there.
Yeah.
And
you didn't piss the whole time, did you?
No, but the kid that I worked with me at Wings at the time, and I wasn't going to go because I was dirt fucking poor, and these tickets were $100 for general admission in 2010.
Yeah.
Rhiannon talked me into going. She was like, "You never do anything. You work your ass off. Go to the concert." Right. So I ended up going. Well, he had to go to the bathroom. Now I'm going to explain this to you. We were probably about 10 rows back from that VIP, so we were close.
Yeah.
Maybe 50 to 75 yards to our left. That's how close these porta potties were.
Okay.
He decided to go to the bathroom. I was holding it. I wasn't losing our spot. It took him an hour and a half to get there, piss, and get back to where I was.
Nope.
And it was amazing. He brought out 50 Cent.
That's awesome.
He brought out Dre. It was Jay-Z brought out Memphis Bleak. Wow. And it was and I don't know if you remember, there was an artist around that time that was really popular named B.O.B. But he opened And yeah, I mean, the reason why that's number one is because they only did 4 shows.
Yeah, and you got to go to one of the 4.
And I got to go.
Fuck yeah, man.
And to see, like, people don't understand, like, you know, people talk about Mount Rushmore, but there's a YouTuber that I listen to named Screwface Jean, and he likes to say there's a Mount Olympus of rappers that people get to, and he puts Jay-Z.
Yeah.
You know, and that's kind of where I'm at. Like, Eminem and Jay-Z are icons in hip-hop.
Oh, yeah.
That will always have their place there, and to see them together. And it's funny because, like, you know, they're both lyrical geniuses, and they've only been on one track together, and that was Renegade off of Jay-Z's Blueprint album in 2001. So, yeah, that's probably where I'm going with my concert. But those are, you know, again, I didn't really do a list. I did give you what my favorite one was.
Right.
Because, again, I mean, 4 shows, and I got to witness that. I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff that we're doing this episode, they don't really necessarily need a list and a ranking.
No.
It's kind of more what our favorites are out of that.
Yep. And I think that works better because, you know, again, I mentioned this in our last episode. Mood dictates what I listen to and what I'm wanting to listen to in that moment. So, you know, you have to take that into consideration. My top 5 today could be different in 2
tomorrow.
Weeks. Yeah. So take us. What's our next subject we're going to talk about?
We're going to go into, and I know I'm the one that suggested this.
I'm okay with it
because I know that you're not a fan of country music.
I like songs.
Yeah, you like country songs.
Yeah. I'm not I don't listen to it as much as others, but I do have probably about 2 dozen songs on my phone that I enjoy. So you know, I don't. It's music. Music's subjective. I'm not saying it's terrible. It's just the majority of it just doesn't grab me. Like, I listen to hip hop. I know a lot of people that to them it sounds like noise. They don't like it. It's okay, but
I like it.
Yeah, and that's okay. And I want to talk about these things because, again, my list can give you insight into maybe the type of country that I like.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of where I'm at with it. I wanted to take you out of your comfort zone a little bit with it to make you think. Because country is not a problem with me, thanks to my wife.
Well, then I will start off then, since this is your wheelhouse. I'll give a couple older ones, nothing older than the 90s.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I didn't old country. I really don't like. Really, outside of like Dolly Parton, I do really enjoy her, but outside of that, my first one, I'm gonna go with "Chicken Fried" by Zach Brown Band.
Oh, dude, good song!
I love that song. It's so catchy and fun,
and it's so good.
And what got me into that song was back in 2003. There was a girl that I was dating, and she was a big fan of it, and she got me into it. And we would ride around. She had an all-black Mustang.
Oh,
and we would ride around, and she would blare that, and we just sing it at the song. So that's fun. And then I'll go into one other real quick that's pretty obvious, and the rest of them will kind of catch you off guard. But Burning It Down by Jason Aldean.
Good song.
I love it. It's such a... Me and Rhiannon came across that when he dropped it, and we just loved it, and it's a really good song. And, I listened to it, but I'll segue that into you giving me a couple of yours. I know you're a little bit more seasoned when it comes to country. So.
You know, the funny thing is you say that, but I don't have anything but... I have one song that's from the 90s on here. Everything is pretty new.
Oh, okay.
Surprisingly.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have guessed that.
And a lot of it is because of how I feel right now. And some of these songs are very... The one thing I will say why I have gravitated back into liking country music is I have a thing with 60s and 70s songwriters and like folk song stuff. I love the singer-songwriter like genre of that. And there's a lot of country songs that do a great job of telling a complete story in a song. And if some of these songs you've probably never heard of, I would recommend, hey, you get a chance, dude, listen to them. You might really, really like them.
3 on my list are storytellers.
Yeah, nice. And I'm actually going to start out with 2 for me right now that I really, really enjoy. And they're both by the same guy. His name is Cody Johnson. Dirt Cheap.
Okay.
If you've never heard the song Dirt Cheap, I implore you, please give it a spin because that is one of those songs, especially at the end, and I've seen a lot of reaction videos to it. Man, it'll make you tear up because you're like, damn, yeah. And then he's got another one called The Fall, where he's going through, I believe it's like, because I think he's a cowboy or was a cowboy, one or the other, like rodeo guy. But he's basically talking about, everything is worth it. Like, this is worth, this was worth this was worth of this, and it was all worth, it was all worth it in the end.
Right.
And it's another good, yeah. Check it out.
The next couple I'm gonna hop on, and then I'm gonna hop in. The ones that I got are Wanted by Hunter Hayes.
Okay.
I don't know what it is about that song. I just really like that song. And this one's Watching Airplanes by Gary Allan.
Dude, good song.
I love that song.
I'm just sitting here watching airplanes.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know what it is, but that song gets me. I will go ahead and get these last three, and then you can go, just because these are songs that make you. It can make you tear up. Mm-hmm. The first one is "She's Everything" by Brad Paisley. That's one of the very first country songs I loved,
and I like Brad Paisley.
That song just. I mean, he's got a bunch of other songs that, Brad Paisley was huge back then. But She's Everything. But these next two, Austin by Blake Shelton. Such a tearjerker.
Have you ever heard the acoustic version he did for, I think, Apple or Amazon Music?
No, I'll have to check that out.
Bro, it's so good.
That song is just fucking tearjerker. And this next one, I think, is one of my favorites, but it's or might be my favorite, but it's really hard to listen to. And that's "Don't Take the Girl" by Tim McGraw.
That's a monster.
I have a quick story to tell about that. What got me to listen to that song? So I've told you guys, I used to work at Wing Warehouse, which was a sports bar that mainly dealt in wings. And there was this couple that was younger than me at the time. They were in their late 20s. And she died suddenly of a rare something. And they had a fundraiser kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there was this part where they put that song on.
Oh, bro.
And you hear everybody singing and celebrating, and then all of a sudden, and I'm in the kitchen, because I worked in the kitchen. Yeah. It's just quiet. And I'm listening to this song, and I'm like, did everybody go outside for a smoke? And I walk out there, and there's this long line of 5 people on each side of this guy, and everybody's just crying.
Wow.
And I'm like, what the hell? And I'm listening to the words.
Oh, it was the song.
And I'm just like, I start crying. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And ever since then, man, when I listen to that song, I think I have that moment attached. But it's when he talks about guys, it is such a good song because he talks about being a kid and this little girl wanting to go fishing, and he doesn't want her to go. Because he's a kid. Right. He doesn't want the girl to come with him. And then as he gets older, he realizes, guys, go listen to it. But I will let you finish so we can keep this party going.
Keep the party going. And I actually have 2 that are dealing with dads.
Oh.
So when my dad was going through his heart stuff last year, but I have heard these songs quite a few times anyways. I'm a fan of both artists. But Zac Brown Band does a song called "My Old Man." If you haven't heard it.
I haven't.
Listen,
and I like Zac Brown Band.
I'm telling you right now, if you listen to that song, be in a proper headspace, because that will make you cry no matter,
Yeah.
And then the other one is Luke Combs' "Remember Him That Way," and that's a newer one by Luke, and it's a good one because he's talking about his dad getting older and how he's watching him gray up, and he always looked at his dad as Superman.
Yeah.
And now at that age, he says the S on your chest is starting to fade.
Yeah.
But I'll always remember you as Superman.
Yeah.
So those kind of hit me when I was going through that with the old man. And then there's one by Nate Smith I really enjoy. It's called "Fix What You Didn't Break."
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I mean the name.
Yeah. I believe I sent you that one a couple months back.
You could have, man. I apologize if I don't remember off the top of my head.
But talking about getting with a woman after having a horrible breakup with another woman.
Yeah.
And basically she's fixing him, and she's not the one that broke him.
Yeah.
So, but it's
yeah.
another storytelling song.
Yeah. Real quick before we get into our next one, it made me think of one that you talked about. There's one by a Christian kind of country group. You ever heard a New Song?
No.
They do a song that I've only listened to twice since my mom died, and once was to let Ty listen to it, but it's called Mama's Christmas Shoes.
Oh, wow.
And it's about this little boy who is going to the store to buy these shoes for his mom. Mm-hmm. And when he's at the counter, he doesn't have enough money.
Oh.
And this guy, he's telling it he's watching this happen from his perspective.
Gotcha.
And the kid's talking like, he's singing the story, but this kid's talking about how his mom is dying in the hospital and she'd really like these shoes.
Yeah.
And I got chills. I'm trying not to, it makes me cry.
Yeah.
And the bridge going into the song, he goes, because I want Mama to look, I want Mama beautiful if she meets Jesus tonight. Oh, dude, I just got chills. Yeah. If you guys get a chance, it's called Mama's Christmas Shoes. But for that, we'll hop into the next one. And now we're getting into mine and his uncomfort zone.
A little bit.
And this one was tough because I could have made a 30, like a list of 30. Like, this isn't a list, but I'm saying I could have listed 30 different.
Oh, for sure.
But we're going to go 90s R&B songs. We can go 2000s, whatever, or not 90s, but just top R&B songs. Yeah. But I primarily went 90s because that's one of my specific genres that I really love is 90s R&B. There was an immense amount of R&B bands in that time that just was producing really great songs. But if you wanna go ahead and lead us off with a couple of yours, I know you're not looking forward to this.
No, honestly, these are songs that I actually.
No, I know you're gonna have good ones. Yeah. I just know this isn't your comfort zone. So.
I'm not gonna have any deep cuts or anything weird like that. These are probably gonna be all heavy hitters that everybody knows. I'm going to start what I like off. In fact, I was just listening to this the other day. Nobody by Keith Sweat.
He's got...
Slept on.
There was about 10 of his I could have put on my list. Right. I went through a bunch of them. I have a 90s R&B playlist that I have, and I went through that listening and going, yep, that could go. Yep, that could go. Yep, that could go. So, yeah, Keith Sweat didn't make my list, but there's no reason why he couldn't make somebody else's. So.
For sure. And then I went big heavy hitter with Brian McKnight with Back at One. That's one of my favorite R&B songs of all time right there.
I have B-Mac on mine, but not that one. But nice. Back at One is a great song. I'm going to go into a couple of my honorable mentions before I mention, because like I said, I didn't make a list. I just kind of said, hey, these are some that I like.
Yeah.
Brian McKnight, but Crazy Love.
Okay, good song.
Crazy Love. I got Boyz II Men on Bended Knee.
I almost.
I could have put a whole Boyz II Men 2, the album. I could have put the whole album on there.
Yes, for me, absolutely. I love Boyz II Men. I actually went with Water Runs Dry on that one.
It was between that, and Thank You is another one that I like. That's a deep cut, but it's not. And then honorable mention is Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge, and I mean the original.
Yeah,
there is one that became a hit that had Reverend Run on it.
Yeah.
But it was a regular like ballad before it was like that party type sound. So I have that. Nice. But if you want to go ahead and dive a little more into your list,
yeah, I'm gonna do my bottom of where I'm at, and these are kind of old school, obviously. But I did the Dock of the Bay by Otis Redding.
Can't go wrong with Otis.
I love that song. And Under the Boardwalk by the Drifters.
Oh, that's a good one.
I heard it the other day on the radio, and I put it down. I was like, bro, I can't leave that off there. But these are my top two favorite R&B songs, and no kidding, no joke, as you would figure, they're from the 90s, because we're primarily...
Yeah, dude, 80s babies raised in the 90s.
Yep, doing dumb shit in the 2000s.
Yeah.
I went with I Want to Know by Joe.
Oh, such a good song. Joe had so many... Oh... The concert I was telling you about, the 90s R&B, he was there too.
Oh, awesome. And then my favorite R&B song is All My Life by Casey and JoJo.
When they branched off, Casey and JoJo was part of a group called Jodeci. Yep. Javante and I forget the other guy's name, but they had a group. They were big, and then Casey and JoJo went off and did their thing, and they had hits. I only have one older one on mine. Now that I thought about it, I've seen that. I'm going "Lean on Me," Bill Withers.
Good song. Lean on me.
It has been redone a million times. Right, nobody sings it the way Bill Withers does.
I'll give you that.
My another two of mine, and these are. If you have kids, close their ears. These are sexually. One's called "Last Night" by As Yet. You'll have to look it up. Most of you guys aren't going to know it, but
I've never heard of it.
It's a song about the next day after you have something with and then "Peaches and Cream" by 112.
I've heard that one.
That is about cunnilingus, just so you guys know. So if you go listen to it, understand. But my top. I would say my three favorite as making this list was I have Jodeci, not Casey and JoJo, Fiendin'.
Okay, yeah.
That's my favorite. Pony by Genuine, which is on almost everybody's list. I skipped it over
just because of that.
Yeah, everybody's going to have that on their list. But guys, a lot of babies were made to that song.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure.
And I think my favorite is Walked Out of Heaven by Jagged Edge.
Okay.
It's a song where they talk about like, he messed up in this relationship and like, you know, this girl had to go. And like, because of that, like since they're broken up, he feels like he walked straight out of heaven.
Sure.
And, but yeah, for R&B, that's kind of where I'm at with 90s. I could do an episode just on this alone. Oh, yeah. There's so many artists out there. We forgot Immature. Like I said, we said Jodeci, TLC, TLC. I mean, even like early 2000s, Destiny's Child. I mean, there was so much good R&B back then. Drew Hill, Shy, H-Town. I could keep going. The names could go off the top of my head, but
I almost put a Shy song on there. Was it The Next Time or whatever?
It's it was our homecoming song my freshman year.
She'll Be My Friend. Yeah, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
I can hear the tune in my head.
Too.
Yeah. Shy had a couple of good hits, but all right, let's go into my mess up on the first one. When he said album covers, I was thinking artwork.
So we put it into this episode.
Yeah, we're gonna do album artwork, and for all you people watching, I'll definitely flash these up there so you can see what they look like. There's a reason,
right?
But I'll let you go into this first because I know, you know. The one thing I will say is old classic rock and heavy metal have really had some really awesome album covers over the years.
I know, but I'm going to tell you one of my favorite all times is Doggy Style, man. I mentioned it last music episode.
I didn't put that one on here just because I thought you might put that on there, and I didn't want to, as best as we could, try to double up, but...
But have you seen what Apple Music has done with it when you open it up?
And it's
everything's interactive.
Yeah. Did you know that Snoop released in... around Christmas time 2024, I believe.
Missionary.
Yeah. And it was actually all right.
Yeah.
And Dr. Dre produced the whole thing. Nice. It was the first time. But yeah, that's a classic.
That's a classic. I have a couple of obscure ones, and I don't know if you've ever heard of the band, but they're called Mindless Self-Indulgence.
I have not.
Shortened to MSI. I actually got a chance to see them with my drummer years ago at the Agora. But they have an album called Frankenstein Girls Will Seem Strangely Sexy. Long titled album cover or album, but the guy that did the artwork for that also does a lot of work for the Gorillaz.
Oh, that's all you had to tell me.
So it's cool. It's very cool. As soon as we're done, I'll show you.
I'm a big Gorillaz fan. Gnarls Barkley and But
then I kind of went. I kind of kept it simple. Being a big Metallica fan, I went "And Justice for All."
That's a good
just
one.
because of Lady Justice
Lady
with
Justice,
the scales.
Yeah.
Follow the Leader by Korn because that's such an awesome.
It's the hopscotch
to the edge of the ledge.
You want to hear something crazy about that? You know how I got into Korn? Jermaine.
Really?
He was a big Korn and Primus.
Primus is just. I like Primus, but they're very technical.
Yeah, he was big in that, but he got me. He's the one that got me into Korn, and it was because of Follow the Leader.
Yeah, because they did the song with Ice Cube.
I'm
gonna end mine with Abbey Road by the Beatles, just because it's iconic. I know you don't like the Beatles.
I have yet to say that because I know we would do a section at some point on that. But yes, guys, one of my most overrated bands of all time is the Beatles, and I will tell you why in the future. So until then, you're gonna have to hate me and not know why.
But
it's a classic album. It's them walking. I mean, it's iconic.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna go Queen 2.
Okay.
Because that's the picture of just their four heads on it.
Yes.
It was actually kind of a parody or copied. There was a live version of The Wall that Pink Floyd did. Mm-hmm. And if you know, that's about like putting up masks and hiding behind a wall. They actually did a cover of all four of them with masks on the front of it, kind of like that. But that's on there. And then obviously I put Dark Side of the Moon. You probably thought I would put that on here. It's an iconic.
I did.
I mean, guys,
it almost made it for me.
It's an iconic.
Yes.
You know, as soon as you see it, you know it. And then I'm gonna go into Nevermind.
Oh, Nirvana,
yeah. Guys, if you get to see it, it's a baby being thrown into a pool chasing $1 on a fishing line.
It's great.
Nirvana is. We could do a whole episode on grunge alone.
Yes, there's a lot of great grunge bands that I like.
But if we're going, I'm gonna go Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers. Okay. I told a little story about that, about how on the cover there's a bunch. It looks like all of them, and they have these like white
masks,
like masks on. And that was because not all of them showed up. And they're like, well, we can't have a fucking cover with half of you guys.
Yeah, right.
So they had like sound engineers and like guys putting masks on. Yeah.
Put this on. We need to take a picture.
And I'm gonna take a hint. You like Tupac, Machiavelli.
Yeah.
People don't remember.
Yeah.
He put himself on the cross like Jesus. And that caused a lot of problems. And if you guys don't know, there was I think it was a 14th century like czar. His name was Nikolai Machiavelli, how he outwitted his opponents or whatever, the people trying to get to him. He faked his death and revised the whole plan to get around him. And then I just entered this one because it's hilarious. But ODB's debut album was his welfare card.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was literally just his welfare card.
I remember that.
And I had to mention that for that. But all right, guys, we're getting to the end of the episode. I kind of figured this might go over a little bit, but it'll be all right.
It's all right. I don't care at this point.
But we're going to what we're going to. And when Bob said this, I still laugh when he says this. But he called it Build a Band.
Build a Band, like
and
Build
I
a
love
Band.
it. He's going to give you what he would consider the greatest band ever put together, and I'm going to give you a hip-hop supergroup.
And this is Live or Dead in their prime.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They're in their prime. Yeah, Live or Dead. Just if you could make it happen, it will happen.
Yes. I thought this was your idea. I loved it.
I thought about it because there have been attempts in many rock cases of supergroups. Mm-hmm. Temple of the Dog famously was Eddie Vedder, Chris Cornell, and basically the band of Audio Slave with with Eddie Vedder. And hip hop has done it from time to time. There's actually an album coming out with Rakim, Master Killa, and Corrupt from the Dog Pound from back in the day. They're making a little supergroup album that's getting ready to come out. So I thought it would be cool to kind of talk about this, and with Bob being a former guitarist and in a band himself, he would have a good insight, and me rapping, I figured we could build something pretty cool to end the show on. So
yeah, I think you may have had a more difficult time than
I was. Guys, he's not lying. I was before we're recording. If unfortunately the part that we were talking about this wasn't video recording yet. I wish we could, because I was still sitting here coming up with ideas to try to get a really good one, because it was tough. But let's hear your band.
It was tough. I had mine kind of figured out pretty quick, because I like what I like, and I would like to hear what it would sound like. And I'll give you all my methods to my madness. On drums, I'm going to have Phil Collins on drums.
There's only one other drummer I could think that and that's John Bonham. And I don't even like Led Zeppelin.
And I kid you not, you can see, I'll show you in a minute, you can see where I scratched out Bonham.
Yeah, he's joke. It's amazing how much I could not stand Led Zeppelin, but that Moby Dick fucking solo he does.
Yes.
Oh.
On bass, I'm going to go Paul McCartney, because he's multifaceted.
And it's crazy because he couldn't read music.
I know.
And was so good at instruments.
I know.
That blows my mind.
I know.
That's a good pick.
That's a good pick. But there's more.
There's
more picks. There's more rationale.
Yeah.
So on rhythm guitar, you can only imagine. I went with Hetfield on rhythm guitar. On lead guitar, I went with Clapton.
Ooh, add some bluesy stuff.
A little bit of bluesy stuff, but you got that
This
nasty...
is going to be a fucking album, dude.
I know.
I want to hear this now.
And my vocals are going to blow your mind.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
I'm going to go with Freddie Mercury on vocals.
Wow.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I did not see that
You did not see that, but...
Wow, that could be an interesting fucking band.
Because they can all play multiple different styles. Right. But did you see what I did with who I picked?
What, with Freddie Mercury?
With all of them that I picked.
I'm not putting it together, my bad.
They all have had amazing vocal careers. They all can sing.
Oh, shit, Phil Collins can sing.
Yep.
Paul McCartney. Which was probably why you got rid of Bonham, because he didn't do vocals.
Yep.
Holy shit, that's good. So you can really
rotate. You could always have.
You could build a rap group, because that's the same shit that I was going with. It's like, okay, who can bounce off of this person and do this?
Yep.
Who can grab the hook on this?
Yep.
Yeah, it's
because all those guys, instrumentally speaking, and I also have Freddie Mercury down on piano too.
Oh, dude, he was amazing.
Or keys. But you can interchange vocally. You could flip-flop Hetfield and Clapton on lead or rhythm. It doesn't matter. They can both sing.
Yeah, they can both it can interchange.
Exactly. And they can both play multiple different genres of rock music. Same thing with Paul McCartney.
Oh yeah.
And he can also jump over and play piano. He can play guitar. I mean, he does it all too. So that was my rationale behind all of that. They can all do multiple different things, which that would make for a hell of a different kind of album.
That would be intense. That's fucking gold. That's a good one.
Right.
I did not think... You know who I thought you were going to say?
Who's that?
Cornell. Because he had one of the most diverse ranges out of any rock or grunge or any singer of all time. I kind of thought maybe that, but... Freddie Mercury makes it so much more of a...
Because he could do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, like, man, that's a good one.
He had a little bit of grit in his voice. He could do, like, a couple different octaves.
Right.
He had the range. Again, if you need a little backup growl, that's what you got Hetfield for. So, I mean, I put a little bit of thought into that, and I figured that was going to get you.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, guys, I'm going to build my hip-hop supergroup. Now, I built a couple of these. I'm only going to... My thought was maybe get to two if we had time, but we don't. So I'm just going to give my main one. But for this, I wanted storytelling. And every single one of these, and you'll know by the names, are insane storytellers. I needed lyrical ability. That's one thing that has always drawn me into hip-hop was lyrical ability. I'm talking metaphors... double entendres, schemes, just in and out, the way you can twist words.
Right.
And I picked a producer. Now, this group is 6 deep, but they all play a role kind of like what you said. I'm going to start off with the obvious for everybody that knows me. Yes, Eminem is in this group.
I figured as much.
There are groups I would leave him out of, but not this one. This is the one. He can do it all.
Yep.
He can chop. And for you new hip hop listeners, or a chopper is when you hear somebody rap fast, like your Tech Nines, like Busta Rhymes can do, like you've heard Eminem do before, like on Rap God.
Yeah. Which I love that song.
My next is Jay-Z.
Okay.
Because if we go back and listen to Renegade, you can see that they're good storytellers, their lyrical ability, and they can really bounce back off of each other. Yeah. Next is another obvious one. This guy's never done a song with Eminem, but he has done many with Jay-Z, and that's Scarface, which I've said is my favorite album of all time. He is one of the best storytellers of all time because he takes it to an Alfred Hitchcock dark kind of place, which would really give a different tone to this group. Next, I went to a newer one. I'm going to kind of go with like a newer cat here, but he's slowly becoming what people are thinking one of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time, and that's Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
I don't know if you've really delved into him.
I've heard quite a few.
Guys, he won a Pulitzer Prize for one of his albums.
Really?
He literally constructed the album to where you can listen to it front to back.
Okay.
And it tells a story.
Nice.
And if you listen to it starting at the back and go to the front, it tells a different story.
A different story, nice.
And he won a Pulitzer Prize for that.
That's awesome.
And I couldn't not have him in there. He's had songs with Eminem, and he's had, I think, a song with somebody else on my list. But I also had to add 3 Stacks, Andre 3000 from Outkast.
Dude, I love Outkast.
He's top 5. I have said there's 2 hip hop artists, in my opinion, that have never released bad albums, and that's Outkast.
Mm-hmm.
All of their albums are good, and Scarface.
Yeah.
Obviously, some are better than others, but none are bad. And then I'm gonna round it out with an artist you may not be familiar with, but hip hop heads will know and has been around for. And actually, I take that back. You will know.
Oh.
But not from where you think.
Okay.
And it's Black Thought. He's part of the Roots.
Oh.
Fallon.
Okay, yeah.
He's actually a rapper in the Roots.
That's awesome.
But he is one of the most technical and just insane. And I think if you got Jay-Z, Eminem, Scarface, Kendrick, Andre 3 Stacks, and Black Thought on the same album.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
And real quick, it can either be double produced or one or the other.
Right.
Unfortunately, this first producer passed away. But he was a very popular Midwest named Jay Dilla.
Okay.
Guys, look him up. He's an insane Midwest producer, but he was really, really, really good at sampling an old like funk and soul music and stuff like that. But either him or DJ Premier. Okay. Premier is one of the greatest. He was in Gang Starr. He's produced for almost every hip hop artist. But that's kind of where my super group is going for all my hip hop heads. That hear this, let me know what you think of my super group and how it would stack up.
I actually have a producer that I would have produce my super group.
Oh, I want to hear.
And it would probably have to be Rick Rubin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or because they're a little bit older, it would be a little bit older of a band. Maybe even Bob Rock.
That's a good one.
You could pair him back up with Hetfield and Metallica because he, the Bob Rock era of Metallica was fine with me. I mean, they did Black Album, Load, Reload, all the way up to Saint Anger. What a horrible, oh God. Talk about drums sounding like a trash can lid. Miserable.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's time for the part D, the Riff Strike Back to come to a close.
That's a good one.
Oh, it was a great one. So with that, you know what time it is.
More dad joke.
Yep.
I got a music one this time.
I was hoping.
Eric, why do fish make good musicians?
I don't know.
Because they know their scales.
And on that note, we'll see you next week. Hey guys, I just want to take a minute here to talk about mental health awareness. It's something that me and my wonderful co-host Bob also suffer from. I seek therapy. We both have medications, and I just want everybody to know that if you're listening to this and you hear this, that there are people that care. There are other people like you, and don't hold that stuff in. Talk to somebody, let it out, because suicide is never the answer. If you're starting to feel some type of way, you think you're going to hurt yourself, or you don't feel like you have a support group, guys, please call or dial 988. It's the hotline for help. And if you're a veteran, which, mind you, 22 veterans commit suicide a day, guys. I mean, it's just not a good thing. If you're a veteran and you're struggling, please reach out. There are a lot of us that appreciate what you've done for us, and you need to know that there's help for you too. So if you're a veteran, dial or call 988 and press 1, and that helps veterans. And remember, you're not alone.